everybody. Welcome to our podcast, the new and improved studio with new and improved guest, John Mullen here.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Sales? Tell us about sales. What,
So,
what do you do all day? I mean, I know we have Gerard, Joe, Modi. They do nothing, but what do you do?
so I'm in sales, so I focus on, of course, telling people about our wonderful products and things like that. And specifically, I focus on our relationships with like exhibit houses, experiential marketing firms, and making sure they have what they need to kind of empower their customers with all of our very cool technology and stuff.
Been what, 6 months since you joined us?
Yeah,
Give or take?
about 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, you came from an exhibit house, right?
True.
So you knew what you're coming into, and you never predicted this madness with
No, it
just
was
different type of people here.
was an unexpected hop, but yeah, it's been a pleasure so far. I mean, as you know, of course, I've been ingrained in technology even prior to my time with an exhibit house, back when I was doing stuff in esports. So it's cool to be kind of back in that world again, talking about tech and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always think that if this doesn't work out, you have a career in broadcasting.
Yeah.
And this might be a launching pad for you. But yeah, first of all, I want to say on a personal note, it's been great having you on your team. You know, a team player. You get our industry. You come from the world of understanding AI and implementing it in your day-to-day. Unfair advantages, other salespeople, just so you know, right here. But no, you're on same strides with what the latest technology. I want to understand because I do sales, old school sales. What are the advantages? AI. Give us the inside scoop.
Yeah, I mean, where do I start? Jeez. There's all sorts of places where AI, at least working with like this agent that, as I've told you, I've been kind of building up over the past few months, kind of like enhances your day to day. It's mainly kind of, for me, what it is it's kind of moving a lot of like the busier work, the repetitive work kind of out of my way and automating a lot of that so that I can focus on like customer facing activity, things that require like my creativity or my like kind of critical thinking skills to come up with ideas and stuff like that.
So AI is doing your work in a sense.
I mean, like,
No. This is not a evaluation of your productivity or salary negotiation, but I just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think if you can use AI, you definitely put it at the forefront of your outreach. When it comes to sales, comes to innovation, customer support, wherever AI can help. I think we encourage it. A lot of our clients want it. They try for it. Where have you seen AI being used in our world?
That's an interesting topic that I wanted to jump on while we were talking about this, is because it's an interesting thing. Is it seems like everybody wants it, but everybody's still kind of figuring out how exactly they want to implement it.
True.
Is kind of what I've noticed. Is everybody comes with ideas, but it's very rare so far, at least, that I've seen those ideas come into fruition beyond just like a concept stage. And I think that's probably the next phase we'll be seeing over these next 6 months or so, is seeing a more fleshed out adaptation of how they're using AI and incorporating it with kind of like the technology we use in these events, I would say.
I agree. I think it's a cool world, AI, just like cybersecurity was cool 4 years ago and Web 2.0 8 years ago and so forth. But I think it's not just cool, it's what being implemented. You can see it, whether it's early on conversation right now happening with some of our clients, or adaptation of like even something like simple as a photo booth, using AI tools to kind of make a cool image. Even on our website, if you go, none of those pictures are us. We don't look like supermodels, superheroes for that matter. But I do think you're right. It's early adaptation. It's coming. There's a lot of conversations about it. People want to understand more what you can do with AI. There's no scary thing with AI anymore. Remember in the beginning, it was like Congress and AI is going to do this and that. And everyone like, I get to do less work and make more money. I like AI. So
Yeah.
that's where it's going.
Me too. I tend to agree quite a bit, and it's It's really just kind of how each individual client kind of wants to adapt it. Do you want to, like you were mentioning, kind of adapt it in like a fun way, kind of using it to enhance a photo booth, like the cool kind of high school photo booth concept you showed off a couple of months ago,
Sure.
where we like interfaced internet research into finding someone's high school so that we could apply their mascot to the photos and things like that. That's just like a light application of how you can really utilize data. Imagine when we get to a point now where folks come up, you fill out kind of like a lead capture form. Suddenly on the back end, with the data that comes from that lead capture form, we're finding all sorts of things out about this person that just filled it out. Maybe that gets automatically filtered to a salesperson on the floor, and they can do things with that data now too. That's like,
I agree.
really the next step is kind of utilizing the data and stuff like that as well.
And I think I want to emphasize, when sales companies use AI to kind of overbear and oversell, I just think it's the wrong way of using AI. I mean, how many times you step out of a meeting, now you get the AI notes, so you remember everything. You get older and you forget things, so AI notes are great. I always make the joke that, every meeting and conference I go on to Zoom or whatnot, there's more AI takers, note takers than people participating. There's always one guy that never showed up, just sent his AI to get the note. And I make the joke like in 5 years, you'll have AI taking notes and running their own meeting and kind of figuring out things without us, which that's the scary part. But in all seriousness, if you use AI as a tool to enhance your sales capability as far as taking notes, serving your clients, adding more customer service using those tools, then I think salespeople should use more AI tools. But if you're using it just to kind of bombard your potential client, I'm telling you right now, AI is still in a phase where you can tell AI without AI. We had a client, I remember their name in a second. I demo their software all the time, and the software widget was kind of to throw a few videos if you could detect what's AI, what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty simple because you can still, I think it's early enough that you can tell the difference, but I think 2-3 more years won't be able to.
And that in and of itself kind of reinforces what we've been seeing, in that there's a lot more investment going towards events and stuff like that, especially now that AI video and AI imagery is getting so realistic as well, is that sometimes you can't tell the difference between a fake trade show photo and a real trade show photo. So I think that's why we're seeing more people gravitate towards events as well, is because of the fact that no, it is real. It is that real face-to-face interaction at the end of the day. Make that.
I spoke about AI with a designer from an exhibit house. And, I said, hey, I put up this AI design for one of our clients just to show them where LEDs are going to go and things like that. And, and they said, yeah, it's a little bit scary to think that AI might take our job one day. But I do feel like design is where AI is not touching anything. Design has personality to it. You have to listen to your client. You have to translate what your client motions and feelings are into a design. So I don't see AI kind of, maybe it's a tool that helps designers. And I see that more and more where, a client themselves will say, hey, we use the AI just to kind of show you, which is great. You're showing me what you want, where without me trying to figure out what you're thinking, which is great. But then you do need a designer that knows our industry and how to incorporate some of these devices, frames, and so forth.
Getting like really technical with it. I mean, as long as kind of context remains the real problem, that's going to always be the case as well, because especially when you're talking from a design perspective, there's just so much nuance that goes into a design, whether it's a trade show booth, a graphic, custom piece of software, anything like that, that trying to fill all of that nuance, all of that additional context into an AI, it's just not going to be able to get all of it. It's going to drop a few things. So I 100% agree with you that designers are and probably will stay in the loop for quite some time, I would think.
All right, enough with AI. Brought to you by AI. It's funny. You can sponsor this whole thing by an AI company like this, I love it. I want to talk about our industry, particularly what's happening. You're in sales, you see it, we all see it. The shift from the last few years from you had lead time for a project, normal exhibit house called you and say, hey, we have a client that's looking to exhibit in 6 months, and in 3 months from now, we're going to call you, and that's what we need, to what we're experiencing today, which is like, hey, I have a show moving this next week. What the hell is going on? Not complaining, just saying, we're one of the companies that, because we own our equipment and we're national spread, we have offices in Canada and Europe, we can probably pull things like that. But Do you have a gauge of what's happening in the industry that everything is last minute?
I don't know. It's been an interesting trend that we've been seeing, and I think it builds into that point I was mentioning before of that people seem to want to get more into events, but they don't necessarily have, I guess, the process for building up their event strategy so much just yet. At least not everybody does. Certainly people that have definitely got it together, but I think a lot of people, they're like very last minute decisions of, oh, we definitely want to get to this event, and now we've got to throw everything together at the last second, and that maybe explains why we're seeing some of that. Is there's more interest in events. There's a lot more people also learning how to do events at the same time. So there's kind of that learning curve, I think, for a lot of new exhibitors and companies that are getting into it.
I agree. I think it's also, our industry is all about budget and marketing, right? I think a lot of budgets were held. This is the kind of the after effect. I can't believe I'm mentioning the word COVID, but it is an after effect because budgets were rolled forward, and then some tariffs and all those constraints that you like go stop. As a marketing manager, you might be in the position to make that decision last minute, right? And when you do, you're calling an exhibit house, calling an agency, a production company, and you cross your finger that they can help you, which is not always the case. But and we tell people plan. We want more proactive, but it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Just truth. I think that if you look at the last 4 years with magnifying glass, you'll probably find 10 instances where we had a project moving a week before, where this year, I think well over 50. I mean, just last week we had 2 events in New York City that, hey, can we pick up merchandise for an event moving in tomorrow? I said, tomorrow. So, and it's a conversation that's coming up again. We're fortunate enough to be able to help with these events. And then without, again, going back to AI, but we are launching our AI platform for our software. In the next few weeks, we'll do a demo here live in our podcast. And what drove us to create that software is the last minute request. So we said, okay, how do we use AI to kind of expedite the process of software? So if a client calls us a week before, we can accommodate. So we are launching it, and I can't wait to actually showcase it to everybody. A, it's going to make software creation more affordable. B, allow us to deal with timelines. Excited about that.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. Other than that, summer plans?
Summer plans? Oh man, I haven't even started thinking about it. Just think about it.
You have no kids. See, that's the difference. We have 5 kids. That's the only time I mention I have 5 kids, if you don't know that by now. But yeah, listen, you got to plan ahead. You're like those marketing people. They call us a week before, right, and expect equipment. No, you got to plan. Listen, we all know summer is slow for our industry. We encourage everyone in the company to kind of take their time off during the summer. So can't wait to hear about your plans in the next podcast.
I'm sure I'll get out there, take some star photos, do road trips and stuff.
We're gonna try to bring a guest to our next podcast. We have such a cool environment here. You have no idea. Maybe in the reel before that, we can show some of the updates to our showroom here in Vegas and what's coming up. Really exciting stuff. Before we end this podcast, quick, EMS is coming next week. Gonna be there.
Absolutely.
What to expect? Your opinion.
From us, or just from the show in general?
In general, I think EMS is as a, I don't want to compare it to other shows, but I think it's a pioneer. It's a high-end show where marketing professional event planners are coming to kind of source out their solution for the event. So, yeah, any thoughts about that?
I'm expecting a lot more AI stuff, in all honesty, just kind of following the trend. But yeah, I think a lot of people as well, I think are going to be pushing solutions of like how to like thoughtfully integrate those sorts of things and stuff like that. Because like we were talking about at the beginning, everybody wants it, but no one's really like figured out how to do it yet. So that's the next step. And I think we're going to see a lot of people suggesting solutions on, how to get to that next step next week.
I agree. I can't wait to connect with industry partners, friends. It's here in Vegas, so it has a reminiscence of Exhibitor Live from like 4 years ago when it was here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be the same vibe. I think Vegas is prime for a show like that. The only problem, what's EDN? What's going on in town? Some electronic.
EDC.
EDC is
Yeah,
in
yeah.
town,
Yeah.
which is like
That's this weekend.
yeah. I actually on the flight here, I came back from the East Coast. A lady was going to EDC next to me, and she was telling me it's about an hour away from here.
Yeah, to the Speedway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Vegas is gonna be hectic for days.
I think luckily, as we're coming in,
They're
heading
leaving,
out, so
yeah.
there'll be a natural cadence.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. But yeah, again, looking forward to seeing everybody. We'll have some kind of a mini podcast from our booth at EMS and share some updates, show you what people are doing, and you'll inform. That's the point of this podcast. So thank you for myself, John. See you in the next one.